Okay, and welcome back. So now I'm here to talk to you about the meat of the first module. So it'll be high level because we already spent a half an hour on talking about the course outline. So today we're going to talk about what is AI. And let me introduce you to some of it. So today, I want you to think of AI as your next employee, an employee that never gets tired, that has access to infinite knowledge, but it needs you to train it so it knows how what your voice is, what your values are, what your products are. It needs to know what you're proud of already that you've accomplished. So it has all of that information. It needs to know what your goals are. And then we also need to share with you how to train AI so that you are being recommended in future searches. Okay? So I'm going to help you boldly go where none have gone before. This is one of my AI avatars that I enjoy, that I had created by, I think, probably had this one created on Gemini's new Nano Banana, which I love. So I happen to be, those of you that know me, blind in one eye and deaf in one ear. So I've always loved the Borg because she's me. Not really, but anyways, that'd be cool. So what can you use AI for? So thought, well, I should just share with you some of the different things you can do with AI. And these really, if you think about it, each one of these could end up being one of your final assignments if you want it to be. So think of it, AI can be a research assistant. It can gather information and synthesize it faster than anyone. And you would have gotten consultants in the past to do these things or spent days and months trying to do these. So it can bring information together. You'll look at it, you go, no, I wanted it in this format. I want it in that format. It'll change it for you. I personally, because of I think it's my undergrad's computers, my master's is engineering. I love tables. I like checklists. So I always ask it to give back to me my information in something of that format. But anyways, that's something I'll share with you on how to talk to it through prompts on how you want your information back. So it'll take vast amount of information in moments, give you back the information in a synthesized way. So it could be a research analyst that you didn't even know you needed until you start using it. My husband is a snowblower, so we get information from the weather network at 5 p.m. every night and 5 a.m. to decide if he's actually going out to snowblow because we have all of these different requirements that we need in 4 different locations. And is there ice? Is there snow? And is it going to melt right away? So it does all this analysis for us, goes out, collects all the information, does an analysis, and then decides and gives us a go or no go. So it's our analysis and it's our data expert. And of course, you can take that into many different ways where you can have it look at uh, marketing information from your Google ads. It can gather information and trends for you and help you decide what you'd like to do. We've had this one company who was trying to open up a branch elsewhere, and it needed to know where all of this company actually uses a lot of transportation and logistics, and it has large products. So it needed to know where the airports were, where the rail system was, where the bus system was, where it would locate itself, where potential clients were. So it went out and it analyzed all of this information and helped us solve a problem and helped us create a map of where they might go. So that's kind of cool. So then, communications coach, you can have it help you communicate better, whether it's to your employees, whether it's to your clients. It can help you be clearer, improves your writing and your messaging, helps you draft responses. If you are going to, if you answer the many grants or you apply for grants and it's holding you back because you're not sure what to write, it can go out and help you write winning grants. It'll coach you through what should be in the response so that you can write it. So maybe you need something where you want a communications coach. And so we help it understand, we train it on how to be your communications coach. So now you can go to it and have it help you write whatever it is that you write over and over again, help you write it better. So it could be grants, could be business plans. It could be maybe you help others write business plans and you'd like its help to help you do that. Perhaps it's writing marketing material. Perhaps it's scripts. I'm loving the scripts that it helps me create for shorter videos. So that's outstanding because sometimes I have a tendency to ramble. So it takes it and makes it precise and clear. Then I feed it to my AI clone so that it can put a video out for me that's crisp and clear. So it can help you be a customer support agent, which I really like. So it can help you ensure that you're not missing any complaints and that it's steering your clients right so they're not upset. Or a lot of people are using it for lead management where someone is asking a question and they're just tire kicking and it's gathering information, gathering prospects, adding them to your customer relationship management tool. It's following up with them. So it's doing customer support, but also lead management, productivities. Now, if you have certain things again that you do over and over again, perhaps it's just your inbox and your email system, and you're going there, and it takes you forever. Before you know it, the day's half gone, and all you're doing is going through your old emails. It can help you because it knows who you respond to and how. You can ask it, what should I be responding to right now? It goes through and looks at all of the emails you've missed, and it comes up with the most important ones and suggests that you should look at these first. I have tested that often and it's always accurate because it's looking at all my historical information on how I respond to my emails and it's helping me. And then it'll even draft the response. And of course, I tweak it because you should always be the final hand on whatever it is that you have put out there. You should always be the last person that modifies it. Don't let your AI just modify it because it doesn't know you that well yet. And of course, a marketing assistant, it can help you generate content idea, generate the content. And of course, you go in and you tweak it so that it really is accurate. Add your logo, add your brand, add your voice. So there's all these things. And I think with something that's missing here, it could be a central place for education. So if you're looking to have new employees come on board, it can be a central place where it knows everything about your company and it's now helping that employee. If you have an HR department, it can help people with their HR needs. There's just so much more that you can have it help with. So these are all different roles, and I'm sure you may have thought of others that you thought of that AI can do for you in your business. Okay, so think of it as a new employee. Think about which one of these roles you'd like to have pulled together for your final assignment, and you're basically creating a new employee for as your final assignment. So it's your AI business solution or your AI employee that you're creating. So these are some fundamental AI tools that we'll be using in this course: ChatGPT, Gemini.google.com, and Copilot. Generally, we'll be using these two um, as browser-based, as they're called. And then this one, Gemini and Copilot, will also be using those embedded within their ecosystems. And I'll share with you what that is in a moment. Okay, so browser-based is where you're going directly to ChatGPT and you're going online. And in that, it's taking you to a browser. You're typing in chatgpt.com. And in that, you are in the browser. So I did not go to an existing app that I have open on my computer, like Word or like my email. I went to the browser and I opened a new window and I've gone to chatgpt.com. So that's a high level how you access it. And when you access it, there's all sorts of things you can do. So you can ask it anything. That's a lot of people just do that. But if you click on this plus, you can see there are many things you can do with it. You can create images. You can have it think deeper. You can go into agent mode, which is something we'll talk about when we get into automation. That's where you have your AI actually complete tasks for you. You can create quizzes. You can actually have it linked to your Gmail or to your let's see, what's this one? Your Google Drive. I would caution you on that when you're doing something like that because this is browser based. So when we talk about each topic, I will caution you when it's something that might be exposing you. So for chatgpt.com, the rule of thumb, it's in the browser and you only put information into it that you'd be okay if your competitor or if that is something that you'd be okay if someone else receives. It is public. So that's a high level. You do not put in your browser base something that is that can you never put in there your financials and you never put in there your passwords. You never also put in there things that can identify an individual human. Those are kind of personal identifiers you don't put in there. But this is how you access it. And when you chat about anything, it actually creates all your past chats are saved. So if I want to look at something that I've created in the past, like my doll in my bio creation, that's something that I showed you in the for your possible first assignment. So this is one of the bios that it created for me in that little um, uh, playing card that I created. So if I go back up here and I look at the original one, I'll show you what it was. You'll laugh. Yeah, so he called me Stacy instead of Sophie. I look like I'm 300 pounds, so I wasn't happy with this one at all. I'm not sure where I got a German Shepherd from. I don't have a German Shepherd. So the first one was horrible. So I uploaded a photo of myself. I can see, yeah, I guess maybe I do look that fat there. I uploaded my dogs. I said, create a doll of me in a blister pack, put me in a black leather skirt to my knee with a white top with a few large red and blue flowers, red glasses, red ankle boots. Please add a cell phone, two dogs, a Belgian Shepherd with a black face. Her name's Princess, and a cream English Retriever called Toby, and a kayak. Ask me if you need any more information. Please also create a trading card style bio, something like an AI business leader, trainer by day, extraordinary night, wife and mom and dog mom and kayaker by night. So I told it kind of a little bit about me. So then I started adding information to it because I realized I don't like that at all. I said, that's horrible. I look like I'm 300 pounds. Oh, got it. I'll fix it. I'll reflect the real you. So it becomes flattering and it starts sweet talking to you when it thinks you're mad at you, when you think it's mad. And then I tell it I want athletic, longer hair and wavy, same outfit, longer sleeves. And so then it's come back with this. Then I said, okay, that's a bit much. And then I said, add my logo. So you could see you go back and forth and it's acting like your employee. You're giving it instructions on what to do. So you can do that with something as simple as this, which is your first assignment. And it's really meant to help you understand how frustrating it is if you don't give it all the right information. And it also will start showing you how it can actually start hallucinating and start changing things and think, wait, what just happened? So often you have to upload the original image again to remind it. So you're going to learn how to do all these things with it just by your first assignment. So again, and if you start working on it, you can go back here to continue working on it because you can start off where you left off. If you're happy with it, you can share it. You click on the share and you can copy it or download it. So you're going to download it and that saves it as a JPEG and you'll be able to use that as your final assignment. Pretty cool, right? So that's the intent there. And so more actions. If you decided, I don't want to continue on this. I like what I talked about here. I'm going to save it because I'm going to come back to this later, but I want to branch off into another topic. You can now create a new chat from this and you're branching off. Maybe you're going to want to go deeper in another direction. And so you can do that and it'll create a new chat for you. So a lot of people don't realize that. And then you can take these chats and you could move it to a project. Maybe you'd like to have a file based on some of these chats and you want to pull them together instead of having them random. So I can now show you up above here, what I have is instead of each chat that I come to, I have them filed. And that's a huge savings on ChatGPT. You can also do this on Gemini, and every other tool that you use that's like this allows you to have projects. So if I click on projects, let's look at something for Chesler Shoes, one of the clients I post for. It has all these different topics that I've talked about to Chesler Shoes and in this folder. So it now knows that I've added files to it in the past. It knows based on anything I ask it in this file that's a project has to do with Chesler Shoes. So guess what happens is you're training it. So I could have another file for another company that's a very different type of company that sells furniture. So it's not going to get the two confused because I have one file for Chesler Shoes, and this is all about training it, and we'll talk about this more, but that's how you train it on a specific topic. So projects is a very effective way to organize yourself on your browser-based tool. Okay. And that's pretty cool. Another thing you want to know to do on your browser-based tool. So if you're going to use this for yourself all the time and you don't want to have to explain to it again who you are, that you're a an executive working in such and such an industry, you go to here at the bottom left on your head or on your name, and you personalize it. So this is important because you want to tell it your style. So there's all sorts of different styles to choose from. I like quirky, but you might be professional, friendly, candid, nerdy, clinical, cynical rather. So who are you? So I prefer quirky. Then your characteristic. Are you warm? So more on the warm side or less, more on the enthusiastic side or the less. Do you want headers or lists? So if I click on this, yes, I like headers or lists. So I want more emojis. I want less because I don't like emojis personally. Then create what your custom instructions. Creating and strategy for my training client, materials for my students, create insightful and competitive AI solutions and training. So I tell it generally what I'm doing here, what I am about. I tell it my name, my occupation, so it knows more about me. And then I want to manage my memory. So you go through this step by step, and they're always increasing what's in here. And you tell it what you think is relevant for it to know about you. So you're training not general AI, you're training your AI, you're training your employee, your ChatGPT to know who you are so it knows how it's going to answer when it is answering for you. I don't want formal, I don't want paragraphs, I want bullets, I want quirky. So, do you see what I mean? So, this helps my AI know how to answer for me. And that's part of training your AI. So that's a really cool thing. There's other controls here, parent control, if you are looking to let your children use it, security. So we'll get into this more later. Right now, I just want to talk about a high level training. Okay, so that's really cool. And the last thing I want to show you on here, which is really important, is how do you train the big AI? So big AI, we used to have something called, and we still do, search engine optimization. Okay, so SEO is how we train the internet to find your website, so that there's always a link to your website and a little description of your website shown on appropriate results based on the keywords people are asking. So this instead, now you need to make sure that AI puts you as um, as the result. So putting you as the result is a little bit different now. You want it to recommend you You want it to give paragraphs about you. You want it to already have the answers for you. And if people are looking for its sources, which often people forget to ask for sources, but that's something we'll talk about in the prompt module, module 2, but you want it to link back. However, you want to be the one that it's recommending. So how do we do that? So if you want ChatGPT to recommend you, you need to create a GPT about you. I'll show you how to do that when we create chatbots, but this is a little bit of a how you help AI understand how to find you. ChatGPT, it's creating GPTs, and that's over here. You're going to explore GPTs, and you're going to create over here a GPT on you. Then you can come back to my GPTs and always add information about you. So here's mine. So I can go in and look at my GPT. So this is public. Anyone with the link can see it. And people, what do services I offer? What's my background? So I've training Chat GPT about me. So you really need to do that. Train it about you, your voice, your services, and your products. It's almost like your Google listing. Okay. And then talking about Google, of course, there's Gemini. I'll come back here. Okay, let me get to it that way so you can get to it the same way. So if I click on it, I'm going to gemini.google.com. And this is my tool that Google has created for your AI needs. And what you're going to be finding is that a lot of the answers that you ask Google for now have AI at the top. It's coming from Gemini. So Gemini is very similar to what we just showed you on ChatGPT. You're going into it, all your past chats are down here. So you can see all your past chats. You can see all the stuff you've ever created if you ever wanted to look for all of the images you've created. You can see all your images that you've created here. So you can see I use it a lot for creating images because it has a really good ability to do that as of the end of 2025. You can create a new chat by clicking on that. If you want to be incognito mode, temporary mode, you click on this and it's not going to save that chat. I forgot to share that with you on ChatGPT. If I click on ChatGPT and I'm going to go to a new chat, which is where you go and you default first come to it. If you don't want it to save the chat over here on the right, you click on temporary chat. So it's not going to save it. It's not going to appear on your history. Mind you, it's still saved in the cloud for 72 hours, but it's not saved on your chat. So that's something that some people don't realize happens there. And just like in ChatGPT, if I click on tools, there's all sorts of cool things you can do. So if you wanted to really create a video and not just ask it a question, um, you can click on create videos and it'll create you some pretty cool videos now. Create an image. If you're looking just for an image, it'll create your images there and so forth. So it has some really intense skills. Gemini, if you're looking for a really deep answer, you go from fast to thinking or to pro, and it takes you, this is where you're going to do advanced models and coding. We're not getting into coding on in this course, but this is where all your past chats are. So very cool, right? So I wanted to share that with you on how you access Gemini or ChatGPT. And then on Gemini, one of the interesting things is if you want Gemini to advise to give you as a result in different queries, then you need to create a gem. And that's fairly new. So if you create a gem of yourself, so if I click on gem, and you want to create a gem, new gem, that's where you would go is to create a new gem. This is where you would create a gem of you. So again, we're going to figure out how to do that in next lecture in module 2. I'm going to show you how to do that. You can go ahead and do it ahead of time if you like, but this is where you create a new gem, and this helps those that are searching using Gemini or Google find you. Okay, so that's kind of some Very cool things that you need to know. So there's browser-based tools that are chatgpt.com, gemini.google.com, copilot.microsoft.com. Copilot.microsoft.com uses ChatGPT as well. ChatGPT was the first one to be created by OpenAI, and then the others started. So these three are by large companies, have the best security. There's all sorts of other ones that come out that I would worry about, but I just wanted to share these with you. And again, I shared this to you already. What happens when you go to chatgpt.com, all the different things you can do. Same with gemini.google.com, all the different things you can do there. And of course, go back to all of your chats, create a gem for people to find you. And I'll show you how to do that. So you're always training AI. When it gives you an answer, whether you're on ChatGPT or on Gemini, it lets you give it feedback afterwards. The feedback is critical because that's training it, letting it know if the answer was correct or not, giving it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and then just giving it feedback. Sorry, this information is incorrect. It's biased. You've missed a whole ethnic group that I'm interested in. Like you could really give it some instructions that are appropriate for whatever you've asked. So that's important. Remember, it's like a new employee. However, this employee never sleeps and it never forgets once you do train it in a way. So AI, I've already shared this with you. You want to train the AI you're going to be using often so it knows who you are. And these are the things you're going to train it with. You're going to personalize it. You're going to, in ChatGPT, I showed you where to find it. It's on the bottom left. Click on your profile instructions. And that's where you're able to, oops, I need to move this out of the way. You don't see what I'm moving, but I'm moving something out of the way. And you're able to indicate who you are, the type of responses you want so that it actually responds that way. And that was at the bottom left there, and you go to personalization and personalize it. Okay. And then you can do the same thing on Gemini. You want to personalize that as well. Oh, I don't think I showed you where that was. You go to gemini.com, the gear setting to personal context, and it will then follow the instructions there. And this is where you find it under personal context. And here under there, you're able to uh, fill in this information on who you are. Okay, and I already mentioned to you Gemini. The gems help you get found on AI, basically on Google. It's going to also be at the top now with the recommendations. GPTs on ChatGPT helps you get found across ChatGPT. Now, as I mentioned, Microsoft uses ChatGPT as well. So these are, like I said, SEO is what we've been used to for years in optimizing your search engine on your website so you're found. Now it's called GEO, Generative engineer engine optimization, generative engine optimization. So it's generating it. Okay. So we have browser based that I showed you. And then when we get into the productivity, I'll be showing you embedded AI. So we have AI that's embedded in many of the systems you're currently using. Okay, so we explored the browser. I went to the browsers and I showed you how you use them. Embedded. What do I mean by embedded? Embedded is those tools that we currently use, let's say. You can enable AI inside of them. So you feel safe when you're on your Gmail, you're talking to people. It could be personal information, emails that go back and forth. So you can enable AI within it and it's safe because it's within it. So you're enabling it, for example, in your email to come up and act as your assistant within your email. And you can ask it to look at all the emails you ever engaged with, say, George, over the last 4 years on these specific topics. Give me a summary and a next step. It'll do that for you. Goes through and summarizes it all. It's beautiful. Or if you're a Microsoft user instead, You can enable it throughout all your Microsoft tools. So your Outlook, your Teams, your Microsoft, say, PowerPoint, Excel, and your Docs. Sorry, your Microsoft Word. And in that, you can say, all the different documents I have, regardless if it's a PowerPoint or a Word or an Excel that has to do with this topic. I want you to give me a summary on it. And it can do that because it's embedded in all of them. Or you could say, go into my SharePoint and all the documents that we have on this SharePoint team that we've got going on, where there's 3 of us that have been putting files in here over the last 2 months on this project we're working on. Give me a summary and next step as to where we are. And it can do that. And you can tell it to put it into a PowerPoint or put it into an Excel spreadsheet or create it into a document or an executive summary. So we're going to learn next week how to talk to AI with prompts. You can use those prompts in embedded AI, or you can use those prompts in browser-based AI. So embedded AI, I'm going to be diving into it further when we talk about productivity, because that's really where you're going to get your productivity gains, is by understanding how to leverage the power of embedded AI. So for example, where is it in Microsoft? You have to have 365 or a enterprise-based Microsoft, and then you can enable Copilot. And that's what it looks like right there. You click on that, and it'll open up a panel right here. You can ask it to summarize the document. You can give it an outline, ask it to write your document, ask it what you need to create maybe a business plan, maybe to write a grant. So, and it's within a safe environment. So here you can talk about your financials. Here you can talk about personal information, and it's not going to be outside of your environment. So how do you enable it? If you're Microsoft 365, you go to manage your subscription, your current subscription, and you enable it. And it's around, I think, $20 a month or more, but it's not that much more. And it's worth it. If you are a larger company and you have Microsoft Enterprise, the IT department has to decide who is going to be enabled because it costs a certain amount per person. So if you're a company of thousands, there are many people that will never use it, so they don't need it. There are others that do need it, and so you may need to come up with a business reason as to why you need it, so what is the productivity gains and this kind of stuff. And that's what we can help you with if you need that. But if you're going to try and have a uh, AI solution that includes productivity and you're a Microsoft user, you need to enable Copilot in it. If you're a Google user, you need to enable Gemini in it. And that's what it looks like, is this little starburst up here. You click on that and it opens it up. Now it's built in your Google system, built into your Gmail, into your Docs, into your Google Drive. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, your calendar, so you can ask it to book, when am I free? Please, book this into my calendar, and look at any of my appointments that I had with so and so over the last 2 years. What were the outcomes? Go look through my docs. Go look through my calendar, and it can do all of these things for you. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, so this is what I mean by embedded. So I'm not going to get into this in detail. There's a lot you can do in Sheets or in Excel, which is your spreadsheet tool. Those are very powerful because you can create dashboards where it can analyze the information that's in there, give you advice. So that's some of the productivity gains that we'll talk about in that. But again, if this is something you're going to want to use, you want to make sure that you're allowed to enable it in your platforms so you can actually use it. Okay, so that's what it looks like in those tools. And these are some of the tools that I'll be using throughout the course, whether it's for competitive review and marketing that we'll be doing in module 3. I'll probably be using Gemini, Copilot, or ChatGPT. I'll be helping you create the prompts next week, and then we'll be showing you how how you use them in your business the week after. And we'll be using one of those 3 browser-based tools. And that means that I'm hoping you're going to have access to the browser-based tools. So a browser-based tool, as I said, it's like um, Gemini.google.com or ChatGPT.com. In all cases, what I forgot to mention is think of it as when you go to create your account, it's going to want your email and a password so that when you come back, it remembers your chats. It won't know it's you unless you're putting in your email and password. So if you use it on your phone, you go to the App Store and you download the app for Gemini, and you ask it a question on Gemini. Great. When you go to your desktop version and it knows it's you, it's the same cloud. It's the same browser base. It's like your Facebook account, for example. You can use your Facebook on your phone or your Facebook on your laptop. It's the same Facebook. It knows your email and password. You log in. It's the same account. It has the same settings. It has the same history. So the same thing for your AI, whether you're using your browser-based on your phone or on your laptop, it's the same. So all your chats are there, your projects are there, your GPTs are there. Okay, so I forgot to mention that. I can't imagine that that's not obvious or that it's obvious, but I just want to put it out there. So then for automation, I already talked about that. Is Gemini within Google, Copilot within Microsoft. For onboarding or chatbots, within these tools, there are some chatbot capabilities, but the ones that we'll be using would be within Copilot and within Gemini and ChatGPT for free chatbots that we can create. And those are just your GPTs in ChatGPT or GEMS within Gemini. So I'll be sharing with you how to create those. And then there are tools that are out there that you can use to create chatbots that get a little more sophisticated. So I'll be sharing with you how to use those as well. They range from Notebook LM to notebooklm.google.com, which is, I absolutely love that tool, to Tidio, which is what you could use that tool and put it in people are asking questions on your messenger and you want to answer them appropriately, you can train a chat bot and put it up on through your social media channels or on your website. And the tool I'll be suggesting for that is called Tidio. Now there's many of them, but those are the tools that I've landed on for you. Then there's other things that I'll be sharing with you, and I guess the tools I haven't brought up yet are Zapier. It's another one for automation. So I don't know if this is overwhelming you right now, but these are just tools that I'll be sharing with you throughout the course. And Zapier is one that is automation when you are between multiple systems. So for example, if you are trying to get a spreadsheet from your QuickBooks or from your CRM into whichever tool you're using, whether it's Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, there's a tool called Zapier that you would use to act as the bridge. So you don't have to download the spreadsheet and then upload it to Excel. It'll actually act as the bridge for you. So there's tools like that. If that's something that you need to do, then I would help you. I would introduce you to that tool. Then there's tools that we're going to use if you're interested in creating just a voice clone because you'd like to do podcasts and you're going to create maybe scripts for that. The tool is called 11 Labs. If you're going to create an AI clone, then the tool happens to be that I'd be suggesting is HeyGen or Synthesia. HeyGen's one I've been using lately more of. So there's all sorts of different little tools like that, and these are the main ones, though, that I'll be sharing throughout the course. Okay, so I hope that helps. And there's also every lecture that I create, I am going to create for you a a module within Notebook LM. And that means that I'll be able to create for you a podcast of this information. I'll be able to create for you a cheat sheet like infographic. And I'm going to show you next week how that all works so I don't overwhelm you right now with that information. Okay, thank you very much, and see you if you are able to live on Thursday.